and welcome to the fashion show by the Ellen MacArthur Foundation. This is the second of 5 dedicated shows talking about how fashion can thrive, not just survive, in the transition to a circular economy. My name's Rose and I'm going to be your host for today, and in a second I'm going to be joined by my colleague Chiara, where we will be talking all about things the jeans redesign. And if you haven't heard of that yet, then where have you been? As you know, today is a live show, so please do interact with us, send us your thoughts, comments, questions. The team behind the scenes are going to be putting those questions to myself and Chiara towards the end of the show. So if you're watching on YouTube, feel free to use the comment box, and on all other channels, use those as well, and we will get through them. For now, I'd just like to introduce my colleague Chiara. Hello, welcome.
Hi Rose, it's a great pleasure for me to be here.
Good, well I quite like being here. We've got a nice new set as well that we've just finished decorating. Yes. So what's your role at the foundation?
So I've joined in March as a senior research analyst in the Make Fashion Circular team, and my job is about the jeans redesign and also the product creation aspect of fashion in circular economy.
Great, so we are surrounded by a lot of jeans at the moment, but actually just want to quickly explore and find out really from your perspective. So what does a circular economy for fashion look like?
So in a circular economy for fashion, products are used more, are made to be made again, and are made from safe and recycled or renewable inputs. So this means that, for example, if they are used more, they are sold with business models like resale or e-commerce or repair that allow them to be used as more as possible and keeps them in use. Then made to be made again, it means that since the design phase, they are recycled, they are recyclable and disassemblable. And also from safe and recycled or renewable inputs means that we use all the safe chemicals or healthy materials that do not hamper the environment, and so that we can make them from renewable and recycled sources.
Great, and I think before we dive into actually what these circular jeans look like, because we are very excited to actually have some here today, we're just going to give you a little bit of an insight into what the Jeans Redesign project is all about, and here's a very short trailer for you to take a look at.
Every second, a truckload of clothing is landfilled or burned.
Sell more, sell fast, sell cheap.
If they just end up in a landfill, then there's a problem.
The fashion industry follows a take, make, waste formula.
I think it's time to do our homework.
We have to think differently, and the circular economy is the solution.
Would it be possible to make fashion in a circular way?
80% of waste can be eliminated at the design phase.
It's either a yeah or it's a no.
What would it take to make a pair of jeans circular now?
So what would it take to make a pair of jeans circular now? That is a very good question. And I guess, Chiara, my first question is, why did we start with jeans? What's so good about them?
Thanks, Rose. This is a very great question. So jeans is an iconic product. Almost all of us owns a pair of jeans, and we have a favorite pair of jeans. But no matter how emotionally attached we are to the pair of jeans, because they are created in a way that is harmful for the environment and also for the health of garment workers. So we have selected jeans because it was also a complex garment. It contains metal parts. The way in which is it constructed, it's very difficult from a design point of view. And by addressing this garment, we can extend the principles also to other garments in the fashion industry.
So what we're saying is everybody has jeans. So let's start with something that everyone has that we can make a real difference with. And also I know that kind of looking through the guidelines and the research that we've done, that actually there's some really damaging things about this. You mentioned kind of the harmful substances, but respiratory diseases and loss of aquatic life, I mean, they're quite shocking things that, you know, are happening in the production of our jeans.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of harmful substances are used, for example, in the dyeing or in the finishing process of our jeans, with the chemical substances ending up in our rivers and oceans. And also the material in which of which jeans are made, that is cotton, is a very harmful material. Traditionally, cotton has been used in the fashion industry, but despite, for example, only 2.5% of the arable land is used for the cultivation of cotton, 16% of pesticides are used in the cultivation of this material. And if we go to India, for example, 50% of all pesticides are used for the cotton production.
Okay, and I guess the question I would have is that actually, you know, jeans now, I guess, can be recycled, but if the jeans we have now are being recycled, then actually those horrible, harmful substances are still in use or in the system, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. If we make jeans in the design phase that contains harmful substances, when they are recycled back into the system, those substances will still be there, and they will be in contact also, and they are in contact with our skin and with the people that produce them.
Great. And I guess when I'm looking at kind of these circular jeans, you know, we see a lot of kind of different initiatives that are out there already, looking at kind of not just jeans, but other kind of garments and collections that, you know, are doing different things to be better for the environment. But what's the difference between this project and the jeans that are being made here compared to what's already on the market now?
Yes, thanks for this question, Rose. So the Jeans Redesign provides a design framework that addresses all of the aspect or most of the aspect of the design process, including, for example, how to design for durability, how to design for material health, how to design for recyclability, and also how to design the garment so that it is traceable at the end of life.
Great. So what we're saying is these circular jeans really are circular. They are what they say on the tin, and they're going to be great for us, for the people that work in the industry, and for everyone that's involved.
Exactly, and also they will not become waste since they are designed with a circular economy in principle.
Perfect. So this is the exciting bit that I've been waiting for. We have some circular jeans, and these are the first pairs. I know we've both got a pair each here. These are the first pairs actually that we've been sent as kind of samples that have been produced, which is very exciting. And actually, you've got the circular pair and I've got a circular pair here, but I've also got what we're calling linear jeans, or the jeans that we all have on today, I guess. So what is the difference when we're looking at these jeans between the ones that you've got, our new circular jeans, and the linear ones that I have here?
Yeah, so for example, the linear jeans are made with multiple material blends.
Okay.
While these jeans contain at least 98% of cellulose content, so that they can be recycled after. And also, for example, you can see that in these circular jeans, we have no metal rivets.
Whereas these ones do.
Exactly.
Lots of metal rivets on these ones.
And these make difficult to recycle them because the metal parts are not liked by the recyclers.
So when we actually, if we try to recycle these kind of linear jeans, as I understand it, I think Laura, our colleague the other day in a show, said that actually we can only kind of cut from below here and down.
You
so
will
actually
make a sort of, that is called bikini bottom, so that you can recycle only the lower part and the upper part will be loose.
Okay, so we're actually losing quite a lot of the jeans already, even if we send them to recycling.
Exactly.
Great. So what else is new?
So, for example, you have the button that are disassemblable, and we have a very important part that is the care label. So thanks to this care, you have, for example, the Jeans Redesign logo that makes this garment traceable and recognizable by collectors, sorters, and recyclers, and they will know that this pair of jeans has been designed with circular economy in mind, because they have also been involved into the process at the beginning of making and writing the Jeans Redesign Guidelines.
So it's worth saying, obviously, that we're working with brands, and obviously the brands are going to have them on sale in store and online, but actually the manufacturers and the fabric mills, that kind of the whole industry, have been involved in this process, so they know what they're looking for and know what exactly is in the jeans.
Exactly, like 80 denim experts have been involved in the Jeans Redesign Guidelines, so that they are ambitious and they can be applied at scale in the future.
Great. So, and in terms of kind of the four sort of things that we've highlighted as being Jeans Redesign, so they're durable, material health in them, they're recyclable and traceable. I guess a question that a lot of people will have is, can I still have skinny jeans?
So skinny jeans.
That's a trick question. That was a bit
yes,
mean, wasn't
exactly.
it? Sorry.
So yes, of course, you can have skinny jeans, but they will contain a bit less of stretch because in this pair of jeans you have, for example, the 98% of cotton and only maximum the 2% of elastane. And this means that the stretch fabrics of the jeans will be less. For example, if you try to stretch the circular jeans, they will not be so stretchy, while the linear ones, yes, because they contain plastic-based materials.
Yeah, so these are a lot more stretchy. But I have to say, actually, for a pair of circular jeans, it is only going to be good for everyone. I mean, it's not awful, it's great.
Exactly, and also they are durable because they have been tested for more than 30 test home laundries.
So they have to survive, or not survive, but they have to be the same quality from when you bought them compared to after you've washed them 30 times.
Exactly,
Great.
and also in the industry now, all the jeans are not tested for durability, or there are a lot of different measures, while we have provided a uniform common method so that all brands that are participating to the Jeans Redesign project have to test their jeans at minimum for 30 home laundries. Of course, we have seen also companies that have tested them for 40, for 50 home laundries, and this means that they are very durable and resistant. But yes, it's not a common method in the industry, unfortunately.
Great, so while we're looking at these, we're just going to have actually some interesting kind of background footage, which is actually from one of the participants that we've been working with, Gap, who have been working really hard to do this and been one of the first brands kind of on board and really getting involved, which is great. But have to say that the jeans redesign is about being traceable, as you said, so the manufacturers, the mills and recyclers can all see where they've come from, but actually this is what you're going to be looking for in store as well. So it's this logo, and hopefully, well, we've got some brands that have gone on sale already and some that are coming up, and we'll go into that in a second. So in a minute, we're going to go into some clips and we're going to hear from some of the brands and the mills and the manufacturers and all those participants that have been involved. But I guess from your perspective, what's sort of been the impact of the jeans redesign on those within the industry? And I think, actually, let's go into the clips now. So the first one is from Michelle at Gap. We just mentioned Gap there. And she is speaking with Laura, who works as project lead for our team. And she's looking or going to be speaking about sort of the collaboration opportunities that the jeans redesign has provided.
You know, you've mentioned the point that denim is at the core of your DNA. How does a brand like Gap, when that's the case, really get started on an approach with a project like the Jeans Redesign that is asking you to rethink and redesign the very way that the denim is made?
So, there are so many roadblocks, if you will, in the day-to-day development and design of product. If you think about, our teams are they have to think about logistics. They have to think about costing. They have to think about lead times in an ever-changing environment. And, what we did is through this project is we really put those aside and we took those constraints off the table and, gave our design and product development community we unshackled them, if you will, to really focus on circularity and not be hampered by those things. So once we can get to the solution, then you can always back up and then tackle the costing, tackle lead times, but really taking the shackles off from them and giving them really clear parameters, what this project did, to be able to go solve for circularity beyond sustainability. And that's where we need to move as an industry. And, it starts with this small collection, but it really fueled a much bigger, it's the organization from end to end that has to solve it. And that's also why we love this project, is because look at the other retailers that are signed on. Some of these are, if you would think about it normally, they may be our competitors when we're talking about acquiring consumers and sales, but we're all in this together. And so having this idea of sharing of solutions is, really powerful. We have to change this industry. And it starts with a small project like this.
So we have just heard from Michelle Sizemore from Gap. And she has mentioned the collaboration also with other brands and retailers in the Jeans Redesign project. The Jeans Redesign, in fact, was launched in July 2019, and since then we've seen more than 60 brands, manufacturers and fabric mills joining the project to produce and launch the garments on the market by May 2021. And the Jeans Redesign project not only has been a collaboration, important from the collaboration point of view, but also it has been a learning process, not only for us, but also for all the companies involved in this project. And now we have the pleasure to hear Erickson Mitchell from Guess, which will explain to us how the Jeans Redesign have been a learning process inside this company.
Well, thank you for having me. I mean, quite simply, the approach that Guess took was first partnering with a local design school, FIDM. And really that was pretty crucial in our journey because we were sort of learning with the students. And I just fully embraced that. The students had a lot of questions that even I had to go back and dig into and figure out. So we learned together. And as we are getting ready to deliver our first product within Jeans Redesign, we're actually taking a lot of the principles that we learned during that program and applying it today. The next step for us was collaborating externally, with our supply chain. We had to figure out, okay, we know how we're going to design into circular fashion, but now we have to take it to a practical approach. We have to figure out how we're actually going to get this to market. We're going to figure out how we're going to actually produce these goods. So we had to figure out, every different level of the supply chain, whether it was our thread suppliers, fabric suppliers, our factories. So it took a lot of collaboration to bring in all aspects of Jean Redesign together.
So it's no secret that collaboration is certainly sort of a really important aspect of the Jeans Redesign. If we want to really move forward, then it's got to be with everyone together and kind of sharing innovations and best practice. Next up, you may note or you may recognize Piyumi from the Jeans Redesign video. I should have said earlier, actually, if you want to watch the full video, you can do so on our YouTube channel and also over on Instagram. But Piyumi is here, and we can't really talk about kind of Jeans Redesign in the current climate without mentioning COVID-19. We're sat two meters apart here today. But Piyumi kind of goes through and explains about the opportunity, actually, that the circular jeans and the circular project or the Jeans Redesign project and a circular economy more generally can provide during COVID-19.
It's been a bit of a challenge, Laura, because just as we, I think, gathered a little momentum in getting the Jeans Redesign product out there. And, behind me here, we have a whole collection of jeans that carry the little blue Jeans Redesign tag. And we've always made sure that the collection, the past couple of seasons that we've put out and that we take on a roadshow to meet our customers, a good 20 to 30% of our collections carry products that fall into Jeans Redesign criteria. But I think, obviously, with the COVID situation, that's impacted, everybody's buying calendar. And also, I think buyers in general have been influenced, and brands have been influenced by what we've shared with them. But they may not necessarily call it circular. And they may call it a different name within the brands, and they may call it. And I find that some of the brands don't necessarily want to share for the sake of not competitive advantage. What they're doing internally. Some are a little bit more open, but definitely we've seen a lot of customers move towards sustainable thinking.
So this was Piyumi speaking about the opportunity of Jeans Redesign during the COVID-19 pandemic. And it was amazing to see in April 2020 when 17 new brands, manufacturers and fabric mills have joined the project in the middle of the pandemic, demonstrating how circular economy was an opportunity for them also in these challenging times. Now we have listened to brands, to manufacturers, and now we will hear also from the perspective of a fabric mill that have joined the project since December 2019. And here we'll have the managing director of KG Fabrics, that is one of our fabric mills, speaking. about the challenges of jeans redesign from the denim mill perspective.
Over the last 2 years, we faced many challenges to bring our denim fabric compliant with the Jeans Redesign platform. Our denim manufacturing unit is one of the few companies which fully adheres to the circular economy principle as defined by the Jeans Redesign platform of the MacArthur Foundation. KG Fabrics happens to be India's only Green Co Gold certified denim company, manufacturing company, and all our products manufactured in-house are green products certified by TÜV Nord, the German certifying agency. KG Fabrics markets its entire range of denim fabrics under 3 brand names. Number 1, Green Denim. Number 2, Product Zero. And number 3, Nature's Blue. Green Denim adheres to all the principles of a circular product, on top of which Product Zero and Nature's Blue sits. In KG Fabrics today, we have 480 styles of green denim that meet the 98% cellulosic denim criteria as defined by the MacArthur Foundation. All the 26 brands who are signatories to the above project can use these fabrics. They are marketed and branded separately under the Jeans Redesign enabled green denim platform. KG Fabrics is the world's only zero liquid discharge, zero solid discharge manufacturing facility for denim, meeting the entire ZDHC compliant norms as defined. We follow all the stipulated testing norms for the fabric to meet the principles of a circular economy. In our continuous endeavor towards crossing milestones and towards meeting new milestones on sustainability and moving towards a fully circular economy, we have started getting back jeans from brands and recycling them, recycling the used jeans into fibers, converting them again into yarn and converting them into fabrics. In our factory, we are today capable of using anywhere from 5% to 20% content of used jeans in our fabric.
So thank you to all of our participants that provided us with videos there. It was great to hear from them. So we've heard from a brand, manufacturer, fabric mill, designer, and I think there's no secret, again, as I said, that the collaboration is key to moving this forward. We now have, I think if my count is right, Chiara, 65 participants?
Yes. And also few have joined in the last days.
Oh, that's exciting.
Bringing the total
probably
number
probably know about that, doing
68 new participants.
68, so that's 68 participants that have all committed to producing circular jeans by May 2021.
Yes, it's correct, exactly.
Perfect. So that was kind of our little bit for today, and now is almost my favourite bit. We're moving on to questions, which sort of puts you on the spot, Chiara, a little bit. Okay, so the first question we have is from Michael, who wants to know, it's a very good question actually, do the jeans in the redesign project cost more?
So thanks for this question, Michael. The jeans design according to the Jeans Redesign project will be sold according to the price point of the brands. Of course, if it will be a jean sold by H&M, it will be in that price point band. While, for example, if it will be from Tommy Hilfiger, it will be a higher price because of this price point.
So what we're saying is, depending on where you choose to shop, you can certainly have access to at a reasonable price, depending on your kind of, budget, circular jeans, which was always the aim. And actually kind of a similar question here from Nani, which was, are the production costs for circular jeans versus linear jeans, is it more expensive to produce circular jeans, basically?
So from what we have seen in the fabric mills and the manufacturers, these companies are already committed into changing or updating, for example, their technologies into more sustainable and circular ones. And so it was a process already starting from a company perspective, and the participation to the Jeans Redesign has accelerated this transition towards the production that was better also from the chemical point of view, from the workers. So yes, maybe it will cost them a bit more to produce the jeans in this way, but then they will have also benefits both from the health and from the environment point of view.
Great. And I get this is a really interesting question that I think a lot of us in sort of as public generally are worried about, is that actually, is there a risk that some of these companies are creating a small range of circular jeans just to look good? You know, is there confidence in the designs in these jeans can be sailed up across all of the jeans? You know, for example, if we're talking about a brand, you know, could Gap create all their jeans in this way?
So from what we have seen from the brands and manufacturers and fabric mills, they have now committed for a percentage of their assortment. And of course, we will encourage them to scale across all the jeans that they will make according to these guidelines. It's a starting point because it's difficult to produce all the jeans according to these criteria, because they are very strict requirements on material health, durability, and recyclability. And but what we hope is that brands will continue to adopt these guidelines so that all of us will benefit of these jeans in the future.
And I think the point is that when we started this project, actually, we said earlier in the show that we started with jeans because they're iconic, because everyone has them. And we've created these guidelines with experts within the denim industry. But there are no shortage of experts in other garment areas. So, you know, whether it's knitwear or, you know, I don't know, other areas that actually we can produce these kind of garments in a circular way. But this is just the start, and it's demonstrating that actually it can be done, which I think is really exciting.
Yes, exactly. Jeans are a starting point, although the principles, some of the principles that we have inserted into the Jeans Redesign Guidelines can be applied also to other garments. That's why, for example, we have heard from a lot of companies that are applying the Jeans Redesign Guidelines principles, not only to jeans, but also they are expanding towards other products to make them in a more circular way.
Great. And question from Michelle, who said, very inspiring show. Thanks, I'll take that. And love the guidelines. But what is the biggest barrier to them being adopted kind of even more widely? And I guess we've spoken about the fact that we absolutely want that to happen, and this is just a starting point. But what do we think is sort of a barrier to that happening?
Yeah, exactly. So of course, one barrier to be overcome is the collaboration in all the fashion industry. But this project is a demonstration that if put together always all of them at the same table for the same project, they can collaborate and push also the innovation towards and address all of those innovation gaps that before they were seen as a barrier, but now we have seen that they can overcome these barriers.
Great. So I'm going to move on from the questions now, and if we haven't answered your question, don't worry, keep posting them and we will get to them after the show, and we'll kind of come back to you that way. But my very handy assistant, Emily, who is behind all of our Instagram stories for fashion at the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, you may have seen she's been busy this morning asking you some questions to interact with us. So the first one we did was a bit of a poll around, will you be buying circular jeans? And it's no surprise that we had 100% yes, which is great. And the second thing we asked you is, what item of clothing, as we've just been discussing, or garments would you like to see going circular next? And we had a range of answers, most popular being knitwear, good for winter, as we're going into now in the UK anyway. Undergarments, might be slightly trickier, I mean, that's a whole other conversation. T-shirts, and we also have a lot of people asking for shoes, which is interesting. You know, is it classed as a garment or is it not?
Yes, so in a circular economy for fashion, we say that products are made to be used more, made to be made again, and made from safe and recycled or renewable inputs. And products includes both clothes, accessories, and also shoes.
Perfect. So that is us for today. I guess it's things to take away is it's new, it's innovative, it's out there and it's happening, and you can go and buy your circular jeans now. If you head to our website, you will see a list of all the participating brands, all 67 of them. 67 now, which is great. And of course, we may well be adding to that as well, which is great. So all I'd like to say is look out for the Jeans Redesign logo in your circular jeans when you're in store and online, and let us know when you buy them. We'd love to see them out and about and being worn. We will be heading off now, but our next session will be the third already in the series of 5 dedicated fashion shows next Thursday, the 29th of October at 12 p.m. GMT+1, where the team will be shaping the future of your wardrobe. We look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.